Buenos días, ¿qué tal? Bueno, estamos aquí, haremos un directo con Nara Knits y Belén Fernández de Tejer en Inglés. Hablaremos un poquito sobre ella, sobre sus talleres en la feria. Ahora aquí vamos a ver, ya veo que está Belén. Aquí, aquí y a Belén. Muy bien, bueno, bienvenidos a... Gracias por estar aquí, por acompañarnos esta mañana. Hola, hola Nara, ¿qué
Hola,
tal?
hola,
Nara, creo que tengo... Ahora,
hola.
¿qué tal?
Estaba al revés. ¿Todo bien?
Muy bien, bueno, buenos días a las dos. Como estaba
Hola,
diciendo
gracias.
antes, pues eso, que hoy Nara hará una entrevista con Belén Fernández de Tejer en Inglés. Yo estaré aquí simplemente en los comentarios y así que nada, os dejo a vosotras dos y muchísimas gracias por participar en este directo.
Gracias,
Gracias.
Jessica.
This interview will be held in English because we are trying to reach international leaders also. Sorry for the airplane. And first of all, I'd like to thank you, Chiara, Eva, Anna, and Marta for the invitation and the opportunity to be here and also to cover Barcelona Knits Festival. It is such an honor to be here talking to you, Chiara, and to Belén. And um, I'd like to start now, Belén, if you agree to do so.
Yeah, it's sure. It's gonna be weird doing this in English, but yeah.
Okay, so nice to meet you. Thank you for
You
your
too.
time. And how are you today?
Very well, thank you. Very pleased to be here, and just kind of it's the build up to the Barcelona Knits. It feels like it started already, and I'm getting very, very excited. A little bit nervous, but very excited.
Okay, it's normal to be a little bit nervous, right?
Yeah, it's wool people, classes. It's a bit of everything, but so excited to be there.
Great. So, Belén, I'd like to start asking a question and invite you to tell us a little more about you, because although you are a reference for Spanish speakers knitters, maybe someone who is watching us today don't know you so well. So I'd like to invite you to talk to us um, a little bit more about you and your knitting background, please.
I'm Spanish, but have lived in England for about 25 years now. I came here to do my last year of university, and it was a good year, so I just stayed. And I'm quite a late knitter. I didn't really start knitting until my 40s, I think, or late 30s. I had tried a few times, and I didn't like it. I hated it at school. My mum used to knit. She tried to teach me. I hated it. I just couldn't do it. And then I think when I got pregnant, I think a lot of people start trying to knit then because you feel like you need to make stuff for your babies. I don't know what it is, but I tried, failed miserably because I didn't know how to fix the mistakes. So I got stuck every time I tried to start knitting. I had to wait for someone who could knit to come and rescue me, which wasn't really very often. So I just abandoned it. And I don't know how I just decided to start again. I started trying to do a granny square, following YouTube videos. I liked it. I did a year of crochet, discovered Ravelry, discovered that all the patterns that I really wanted to make were knitting ones. So I had to go for it. And I think thanks to YouTube that I'm here, really, because I didn't really know anyone near me who could knit. So once I learned how to fix mistakes, and that's a thing that I'm going to come back to later, that's when I finally got my act together with knitting. And in terms of how I ended up here, it's because I really I got a bit obsessed with knitting. I started knitting more and more. And I then moved on to designing, to doing YouTube videos, all sorts, that it all spiraled out of control.
Great. That's good news for us, right? So, Belém, when I was studying your profile in order to interview you today, I was guessing something that I would like to ask you now. Why did you begin to create content and to begin a YouTube channel in order to help Spanish speakers knitters to understand more and to knit? English written patterns. Why did you choose this specific issue?
Well, so my username everywhere is Tejer en Inglés, which means knitting in English, which confuses a lot of people. The
Right.
reason why I started that is because I was starting to knit. I could have access to all of these patterns on Ravelry, most of which are written in English. And then my mum, who likes knitting, suddenly we had this thing in common that we could do, and she kept asking me like, how do I, show me patterns? And all I could find were patterns in English. So I started. She found one in a Pom Pom magazine that she absolutely loved, and said, please, can you translate it for me? And I started translating it, and I realized that it was taking me forever because I didn't know any of the terms. I didn't know how to explain to her what I don't know, K tog, how I thought it'd be quicker if I just showed her a video. If I kept those, instead of, I mean, the pattern was pages and pages long, because every time it said K tog, I would go knit 2 stitches together on the right,
Right.
and I thought it'd be easier to keep the original terms in English and then to do videos to her explaining how you do this thing. It'll be a lot quicker. And I had this literally like light bulb on my head. It's like, there must be other people out there for whom this would be useful, because there must be people whose English is just good enough to follow a pattern, but who don't know what magic loop is, and they're gonna try and put magic loop in the dictionary, and that will explain nothing to them. So if I can just show videos showing like these are the things that you're gonna come across in patterns in English, you'll probably be okay with the rest of it, but you just need to know this 4 things, like this abbreviations, how you do each of them, what magic loop means, what grafting means, what all of those things that just looking up in the dictionary wouldn't show you. And I just started with 6 videos, put them out there, and waited to see if anyone's watching them. And I remember just, I mean, I had no contacts in Spain. I had no one who spoke, who knitted in Spain. So I didn't know. I then started my Instagram account, and that's where it all took off, because I could just then show. I mean, finding videos on YouTube is really difficult, I think, and it's just taken off madly since then. And it turns out that I was right. There's a big group of people out there who would love to knit in English patterns, of which there are so many. That's the main thing. I'm not saying there aren't good patterns in Spanish. There are loads, but oh my God, if you can follow a pattern in English, the world is your oyster. I mean, it's just,
Of course.
yeah.
So now let's talk about your Barcelona Knits workshops. I think you will teach classes about a technique that many knitters are afraid of, right?
Yeah.
Brioche.
Yes.
One of them, the one who addresses 2-color flat brioche, is already sold out. Such a success. And the second one is, I think, in my opinion, addresses a point that is very useful for those knitters who love brioche, like me. That is about how to fix mistakes when you are knitting brioche, rather than, I mean, instead of frogging it all and start again and so on.
Yeah.
So please tell us a little bit more about what the knitters will learn in this second class, and eventually, if there are knitters that are in doubt about doing this class or not, what message would you send them?
Well, this is where I go back to what I said at the beginning. It's the whole thing of knowing how to fix mistakes. To me, is the most important part about knitting. You can always learn a new stitch, but if you get the mindset of, what have I just done? How do I undo that? Then you are able to move on, and then you're not scared of anything. Because what I find now, after all these years of talking to people, is that people are scared of not knowing how to fix something, and then they don't start it. So to lose that fear, if you know how to fix a mistake, you're sorted. That fear is gone. You try, you knit, The problem is that if you do something and you think you're going to have to go all the way down, you give up.
Yes.
So together with learning how to knit brioche, it felt to me that it was really important to learn how to fix brioche, because that's the thing that most people are scared of. And brioche really is so much simpler than people think it is. It really is very easy. And once you know how to fix it and you lose that fear, you can make absolutely beautiful stuff with brioche. So the idea is to, in the first class, just sort of, as you said, 2-color flat brioche. And then we learn to do some sort of increases and decreases, because once you know how to do this, you can do anything in brioche. That's it. It's like learning to knit, and you really need to know how to knit and purl, and that's about it. So the problem is, if you're doing this and you make a mistake, do you have to start from scratch? No. That's what the second class is going to be about, is if you are doing this and then you look down and you see that you've got like a blue strand across here where there shouldn't be, how do you just unravel this one without having to take the whole thing off? What happens if you just do that?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was like,
how to pick that up again, like with your needle. What if you have to unravel like a couple of rows? And you're going to have the quickest ways to do this. So then you just pull, and then do you have to start from scratch? No, I'll teach you how to pick all those stitches in the right order with the right sort of strands going across. Lose that fear. It's going to be, so I'm going to teach people how to kind of knit backwards or unpick one by one, how to unpick one column so you can go down and fix a mistake further down, and how to just pull the needle, pull the thread, and just pick it up again as you just to carry on. So you don't have to start from scratch. And we should be able to, we've got plenty of time to do that. So one thing I would say is, if you're worried about kind of no brioche, because I said the requirements for this class is to know brioche. I mean, I'm not gonna, there's the other class to learn from scratch. If you kind of know vaguely, so you don't feel like you need a class to learn brioche again, but you're worried that you're not going to be able to know enough to go to this class, don't worry about it. At the beginning, we'll just knit a few rows just to refresh people's minds and to have enough here to then start sorting out the errors and fixing and unpicking and all of that. So honestly, if you like brioche, even if you do the brioche class the previous day, the normal brioche class, I would really recommend that you come to this one as well, because what you learned the previous day, this is going to be just, it's going to reassure you, you'll be fine. You can just then go off, find a brioche pattern, one that's been in your waiting list forever, and just do it.
Okay. And as the first class is sold out, if a given person does not have the chance to take the first basic, brioche class, would you recommend this class for those knitters who already know something about brioche, who are like intermediate knitters, or that they could be like beginners, adventurous beginners?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very keen on that adventurous beginners thing, because I've always been an adventurous beginner.
Me too.
Seriously, if you go for it, like I never worked out, like I have so many people asking me, is this pattern easy, intermediate? I kind of know now, but when I learned, I didn't know. I didn't ask anyone. I just went for it. And then I had to give up on maybe 2 things. I think I remember that I thought, okay, I'm not quite ready for this yet. And then I picked it up 6 months later and I was. But I don't know how to describe that. What I would say, if as the first class is sold out, if you don't know no brioche whatsoever, you think you might be interested and you think this class would be good for you, I've got videos on my YouTube channel. Just look up Tejer en Inglés. Do a couple of the kind of, simple ones, and then you'll know enough to do this class. And this class is one that I think you really benefit from doing in person in a festival, something like that, because you can follow this sort of thing on YouTube, and I am a keen kind of YouTube, because that's how I learned. But there's something about this, that being in a class about fixing mistakes, because it's not like when you follow how to do something, how to knit something, and you just move forward. This, you kind of have to move back, and you don't know what the results of you unpicking your own thing and trying to fix is going to be. So if there's someone there to help you, you will learn so much more. So really, if you know no brioche and you think you might be interested in this class, follow a couple of videos, try and do a little sample. That will be enough to just, in the class, we'll go through it again, go a bit quicker, because we assume that there is some knowledge there, and to make sure we've got enough time to do what we're supposed to do, which is the fixing the mistakes. But I'm sure there will be time for both things, just a little bit of brioche to get you started. And because also it's a good refresher to be able to know how to unpick. You need to remember how to knit it in the first place.
Exactly.
So we'll do a very quick refresher. This is how you do brioche. Now let's mess it up.
Right. I remember when I learned how to fix mistake in brioche, both flat and in the round, it was like mind-blowing for me, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that I thought, well, if I can fix brioche mistakes, I can fix anything, any problem of my life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Any other problem? Children? Yeah. Totally
Exactly.
fine.
It's a plus then. It's a plus.
I've got the patience to do brioche. I've got the patience to deal with any other issues in my life. I'm fine. It's a philosophy.
Great, great. And but now, last but not least, I'd like to ask you a question that I ask for all in my interviews, for all my interviews. And tell me something that nobody in this live stream or nobody who is watching us knows about you. It could be about knitting or not knitting.
Okay, so something that happened yesterday, so no one knows really, but I just started I just started running this spring, and I just ran 10 kilometers yesterday for the first time. So I'm just so excited. I have been telling everybody I know, but I'm going to be really annoying about it, but I'm pretty sure no one in this feed knows yet. So yes, I ran 10 kilometers yesterday. I'm so excited.
Congratulations. I'm a runner too. I'm a runner too. And I don't know, I think running 10 kilometers is easier than how to fix mistakes in brioche. So your class will be very useful.
Absolutely no way. Gosh, a bit, maybe you sweat about the same. Yeah, trying to fix brioche and running 10K. No, brioche is nothing compared to trying to run for that length of time. But I've only just started running, so it's a new thing for me. And I tend to get a bit obsessed with things, knitting, then running, then making bread, whatever. I get obsessed and then I do it. And then, yeah, but
That's
knitting
great.
is still number one of my obsessions.
That's great. It's a health combination, right? So
well,
we are
enough, that's why I started running, because I felt like I'm sitting at my desk at my computer all day for work, and then in the evening I just sit on my sofa knitting, and something's got to change because I could feel that I was getting really unfit. So that's how I started running, and it's been a little bit of a revelation, really, because I've only just started to really enjoy it. Like, so far everybody said, oh, you'll enjoy it. No, I'm not enjoying any of this. It's just pure suffering. But funny enough, it's just these longer runs that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I don't know how we ended up talking about running after.
Yeah, it's very personal. Yeah. So Chiara, I'd like to ask you something. What is the deadline for those people who now are convinced that the Belén's class is so useful?
Sure. The deadline to subscribe to all our workshops is November 3rd. So we still have a month, but we have just a few places. We have just 5 seats for Belén's workshop. So if you want, you really will have to run, because I'm pretty sure after this live stream, we will sold out pretty soon. So
that'd be great. Can I just reassure, if there's anyone watching this in English and if they're planning to come to Barcelona, the class will be in Spanish, but I will, if they feel they can follow it, obviously I can speak English, I'll be there, and I can just help them if there's something they don't understand. In fact, I've been to loads of Barcelona Knits classes before. There's always English speakers in the room, and I've really seen personally how people help each other. So the language hopefully won't be an issue.
This is very good point that you made now, because it's someone could, like, I don't know, maybe think, oh, it will be held in Spanish and then I can understand. It's so nice for
loads of people are always
exactly
helping, so I'm sure that won't be a problem if anyone wants to come along.
That's great. So thank you, Belén. I think everybody now is like just waiting for this live to finish and then run to the internet, the website of Barcelona Knitting Festival to buy the tickets that remain for your class. And thank you very much for your time again.
Thank you.
And
Thank
to
you.
explain to
Lovely
us.
to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chiara.
Thank you, Chiara.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to seeing you in a month.
Yes, thank you so much for both of us for being here. It was really exciting. And Belén, congratulations for the 10 kilometers. I'm kind of starting to run, like I'm trying to, like you said, like move out of the sofa, but it's really hard. So I get to the part that you said that it's at the beginning it's really tough, and then like, what is people doing this? Like I don't get the point. So
I'll tell you what the point is that you can then sit on the sofa all evening knitting and feeling really smug about it. Like, yeah, I've earned this. I can now sit and knit all evening. Yes.
That's right. I'll go with that. I'll keep that in mind. So thank you so much for both of us. Really looking forward to see you at Barcelona Knits. So that's it. We have just
Lovely.
1 month.
Yeah, lovely.
Chiara, just one last point. I'd like to point out that in the next days we'll be holding other interviews with other knitters also. So please watch out about the other live streams, and I think they will be funny as today. So please.
Yes, that's a good point. The following days we're having one interview a day, so you all can see the other information here at our channel. And as this one, it will be, if you cannot watch the live stream, you can watch it later because it will be held at in our feed.
Brilliant. Great.
Okay, girls. So have a great day, everybody that is watching us. Thank you so much for being here. And looking forward to see you all in Barcelona Knits.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.